Good morning and welcome to This Morning Live. Well, my next guest is the youngest member of the Quebec Academy of Magicians. He is a 23-year-old gentleman who goes by the name of Spidey. He's got a show coming up at the Oscar Peterson Concert Hall called Out of My Mind. The last time he was there, it was sold out. And he's here this morning to show us a few tricks up his sleeve. The show is taking place March 9th. And Spidey, welcome to the show this morning. Now, you're a hypnotist and a mentalist, or what do you like to go?
I'm a mix of things. Basically, the way I see performance is that, when you're on stage, forget what you think you're there for. Just mix everything you've ever learned and just show people who you are,
Right.
So, yes, I've studied hypnosis, I've studied magic and mentalism, but I've also studied psychology and sociology, and most people would say, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it has a lot to do with everything,
All right, you've got something, you do something that you call social magic. What is that exactly?
Social magic is two things, because as a magician, you learn how to, for example, let's say you're in a restaurant, in a bar, you learn how to walk up to someone that you've never met and instantly create like this connection. You become their friends. All of a sudden you know how to lead a discussion, and all because of magic. But most magicians don't know how to keep that going once their cards are put in their pocket. Basically, nothing's left once the curtain is closed. I've developed a method to take out that element from the magic and to keep that attractive, that charismatic feeling going on, even if I'm not doing any magic.
Okay.
So that's the first part of social magic, taking all the values, all the theory that magic and hypnosis teaches you on how to communicate with people, take it out of the magic, bring it into everyday conversation, and then take that entire result and put it right back into magic.
Okay, you're only 23 years old. You've already produced some videos teaching other people how to do this form of social magic, other magicians.
The first DVD I released a year ago, that was for magicians. My upcoming DVD, which will hopefully be released in April, is called Art of Attraction. It teaches this whole way of just being more attractive. Yes, using psychology, sociology, magic, and hypnosis. And that'll be for magicians and non-magicians alike.
All right, we've got to get to your tricks so people can know what they can expect when they go to the show. But I just want to ask you, you're 23. How long have you been interested in this?
It's been a lifelong interest. I think ever since I was young. My dad would go to Vegas, bring back like these little tricks, and I've always been interested in performing, whether it was magic or anything else. I've been playing the piano ever since I was 4, and even in my show, I incorporate a lot of my different talents as well as other people's talents. I have guests on stage with me, very special guests. And so, it's been a lifelong interest, performing any kind, honestly.
All right, so let's talk about, because you're going to show me something, I think, to show, because what I always wonder, whenever I go see a show of this nature, hypnotist, that kind of thing, I'm always a little nervous for the performer, because I think, well, how can you know, because every person is different, right? And I believe you want to show how mind, whether, some people are more susceptible than others, right?
Okay. Yeah, especially when you're dealing with something like hypnosis. It depends on how the person's mind works, and a lot of people would ask me what makes it easier to get hypnotized, and you can't know. You can't say, oh, if you have such and such IQ, you're good to go.
All right, well, show me the trick that you use to see if someone is...
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to, eventually, we're going to try to create something here. Like, I'm going to try to demonstrate the power of your mind as opposed to the power of my mind.
Okay.
But before we get to that, I just want to do a little warm-up for your mind.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my necklace.
Okay.
And I'm just going to detach this.
Okay.
Okay. And this is what I like to call a suggestibility test.
Okay.
It's to see how your mind responds to certain suggestions and how it manifests that suggestion into a reality.
All right, so 3 minutes. We want to get to your other trick.
Let's do it. So hold this by the lip, 2 fingers.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold this up.
Hand?
No, I'm going to hold this up. In a second, I'm going to let it go.
Okay.
And I just want you to let the pendant control you, not the way around.
Okay.
So just watch as it swings back and forth. But in a moment, that's going to change. It's going to start doing circles. And those circles are going to get bigger. So look at the pendant and just think circles and watch it move, you see? And now that's going to change. It's going to go right back to going back and forth between you and me, back and forth. And see how all you got to do is think of it. And the movement of the pendant changes.
Okay.
Now, it's easy to see how there's a connection with you and the pendant.
Right.
Now, we're going to forget the pendant. We're just going to use a pen.
Okay.
And we're going to...
Let's get my stuff off.
Okay, cool. We're going to use a thought, something that maybe, just by looking at you, maybe you've been thinking of, maybe since yesterday, a person.
Okay.
That you thought of several times. Now, the reason you thought of this person is none of anyone's business but yours, but there's someone who came to your mind several times. And this is someone who's close to you. And we're going to use that thought. Okay? This is, I'm just going to try to get an impression here. This is a male.
Do I answer you?
Yeah, do you know who I'm talking about? Like, do you have a person?
I have a person, yes.
Okay. Just think of that person. And this is, yes, this person is male. You need to help me out a little bit.
Yes.
And I'm placing a handkerchief on the table over here.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a male. This person's younger than you. I would assume this person's. Okay, you know what? Let's try to create something here. I have a stack of just blank cards over here, and there's nothing on either side of these cards. I'm just going to drop them. Nothing on either side of these cards.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to drop them right here, and I'm going to take the pen, not the pendant, but the pen, put it on top, and I'm going to fold the handkerchief in this way. Okay. Now, for the skeptics at home, they think I have magnets in my hand, so I'm going to remove my ring.
Okay.
Okay. Put it in my pocket. A lot of people think I have things working with my bracelets. I will remove my metallic bracelet as well as my watch, so no one will suspect that there's weird things happening with my bracelets. And as you can see, the other one, it's a little harder to remove, but it's just a leather strap.
Okay.
I'll back it up. I'll move my suit because people think I have things in my sleeves, which I don't. And for the real big skeptics, I could keep going, but I think it would be in good taste to stop at this point.
I think so.
Okay. So, I want you to concentrate on that name. And just as you were able to create a connection with you and the pendant, I want you to create a connection with you and that pen.
Okay.
And let's try to see if we can get this going. Nothing on top, nothing in my hands. Just concentrate on that name for me. Very good. Okay. I'm getting something. Evidently this is a more difficult connection to make, but that pen seems to be moving. Now, are any of my fingers moving?
No.
Are any of my legs, feet moving?
No.
The only thing moving is my mouth, so I'm going to stop talking right now. Very good. Do I know this person that you're thinking of?
I don't think so.
Is there any way I can know who this person is? Have you ever told me the name of this person?
No.
Never have. What is the name of that person?
Oliver.
And who is Oliver?
My son.
I'm just going to unwrap this way. And as you can see right there, in the middle, I'm just going to unwrap it this way. You can take that card, and you can show that that is the name that the pen was able to write.
Yep. Okay, so are you going to tell us how you can do that?
I won't. Not because I don't want to share with people my secrets. It's just because it takes a level of understanding and practice to be able to get to this point. And
Okay.
we're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to share.
We're not supposed to share.
All right, well, the show is called Out of My Mind.
Out of My
And
Mind.
it's taking place at the Oscar Peterson Concert Hall on March the 9th. We've got all the details for that show. You mentioned earlier some special guests that you have, and you wanted in particular to mention a young piano player.
I do want to mention very quickly, his name is Yvonne Lee. And Yvonne Lee was introduced to me by my cousin Laura, who would strangle me if I didn't mention her name on this interview. And she volunteers at the Montreal School for the Deaf, and this is how she was introduced to Yvonne. He is a 16-year-old pianist, and there's two things that's marvelous about this young adolescent. Is that one, he's self-taught.
Yeah.
Two, he lost his hearing when he was 8.
And he can play the piano.
And he can play the piano wonderfully.
So we'll see that and the paranormal.
And the weird stuff. Yeah.
Spidey, thank you so much. Here are the details for the show. We've got to take a commercial break, and we'll be back. There's his name just after this.